YouTube, it's Kaya back at it again with another YouTube video, and today's video is gonna be things they don't tell you before you get into a relationship. As I am, about to be 2 years deep in my relationship, I feel like I'm very qualified to speak on this topic. But for real, I really do feel like in the past 2 years I have learned a lot about myself and what it really means to be in a relationship, because I thought that I did before and I had no fucking clue. So we're just gonna hop straight into it. Okay, so the first thing I would say is that a relationship requires a lot of forgiveness. And no, I do not mean what you're thinking. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about abuse in any shape or form. Stuff like that. I'm not talking about the extremes. I'm just talking about things that are not that extreme. In a relationship, you really gotta remember that you're two different people. You were raised two different ways. You have two different mindsets. The things that you care about and that you think are a big deal, and I don't want to say the standards, but the things that are important to you might not be important to them. And you also have to keep in mind they're learning you. In a relationship, it doesn't matter how long you've been in a relationship, you're still going to be learning each other, because we change all the time. We're changing every day. You're going to be relearning yourself as well. So it's just a lot of forgiveness is just going to come into play. Think about something that you feel I would never do this to my partner. I would never do this, blah, 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 blah. They could literally think it's not a big deal. And they might do it to you thinking that it's not that big a deal. And your feelings are going to be hurt, because to you it's the biggest deal in the world. But to them, they did not know that. So it wasn't intentional. You could tell somebody, that you don't like something, or there's something that you really don't care for, and they might not be able to just fix that overnight. If I've been doing something my entire life, and then you come into my life and then tell me
no, actually I really hate when people do that, please don't do that,
it might be hard for me to adjust. So I hope that's the most sense that I can make that make. But forgiveness, it's gonna take a lot of forgiveness. Okay. 2, I would say that it really opens your eyes up to your flaws, the things that are wrong with you that you didn't, you didn't even realize before. Not saying I'm perfect or that I ever thought that I was perfect, but genuinely I was always any man will be so lucky to have me, which is still very much true. But I'm not, as it can be really humbling to realize bad things about yourself, or to be told bad things about yourself. But it's good, because it'll help you grow and become a better person. Just always remember, nobody's without flaws. So you get in a relationship, you're gonna find out a bunch of yours. Number 3, you cannot be selfish. You have to think about the other person. Consider them. A relationship is two people. Okay, two people. Once again, like I said, or I don't know if I said this, but you're two different people with two different lifestyles, two different mindsets coming together to try to, become one. Okay, and that's a lot. It's a lot. People sit here and don't talk about that, and relationship, everybody wants to be in a relationship, but it requires you to really be selfless. You have to think about the other person. You can't just, go ghost because you're having a bad day. You need to communicate with them, talk to them, be understanding if they're in a bad mood. You can't take everything personal. That's something I really, really, really learned in a relationship, is that you cannot take shit personal sometimes. That is something that I really, really, really had to learn and work on, because I am a very sensitive person. Everything offends me, and I just had to learn, sometimes bitch, it's not about you. Sometimes he's just having a bad day and they got shit to do with you. Leave the nigga alone. For some people that's not a big deal. It's easy, just, okay, this person I want to be talked to, I'm not gonna talk to him. But for me, I don't know, I've always been the type to take shit like that personal, and it took a lot for me to think about him and his feelings, and just not bother him about it. I can't explain that, but I hope that makes sense. Number 4, being in a relationship can make you very codependent if you let it. You need to be a person outside of your partner. I'm really not gonna elaborate on that, because have a life. Well, actually, I will elaborate a little bit. It's not even just about having a life. It's also about you need to be able to do stuff alone. It's not even just about being having friends or stuff like that. You need to be able to be alone. You should not need your partner to hold your hand all the time through everything. My point being is you should be able to be without them. Like, you shouldn't need to be up under them 24/7, which I am a very clingy partner. Okay, I'm extremely clingy. So this is hard for me to even say. Okay, like I love to be up under my boyfriend. You need to be able to step away from your partner. And for me, honestly, I didn't know how to do that shit until I had my baby. Which is crazy. Literally crazy. Because I have not gotten tired of my boyfriend. Like, literally, I don't get tired of being around him. But we're not the same person. And just because I like to be up under him doesn't mean he was somebody up under him all the time, you know? So it's really, I really had to learn that balance of, like, you know, not being so dependent on another person's presence. Number 5. This one is going to be a hard pill for some of y'all to swallow, but you're never, ever going to get everything that you think you want. Okay, if you've never heard of the rule, like the 80-20 rule, I'm about to get you hit. So, the 80-20 rule is basically like a person having like 80% of what you want and then 20% like not having what you want. And then like the 80% always the 20, so you just go with it anyway. You know, this person can have 80% of what you want, 20% of what you don't, and then somebody else has that 20%, but then they don't have the other 80 that they have, if you get what I'm saying. This was another hard pill for me to swallow, which is why I said it might be hard for y'all to swallow, because I told myself that I had all these standards and things that I want in a relationship, and my partner has to do this, and my partner has to do that, my partner has to be this way and that way, and that's just not realistic. Okay, this is real life. You cannot build your partner. Your partner is a person with free will and a mind of their own, and just because you want them to think a certain way or be a certain way doesn't mean that like they will be. You need to meet your partner where they are and be realistic about who they are. Like, just because you want somebody to be a certain way, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be that way. Like, that's just real life, okay? And don't knock somebody because they don't have one trait that you like. Now, have your non-negotiables. I do think that is important. You should have some deal breakers, but I'm just saying, don't be unrealistic. That's pretty much it. Just don't be unrealistic with your standards. Like, okay, number 6, this kind of goes back to like being codependent, but like you gotta have a balance of like your relationship and your social life. You need to have friends. People who say their partner is the only friend, I feel so bad for you. That is so sad. That is so sad. For one, that's so isolating. Like, I'm not saying you need to have a million. I don't have a lot of friends, but you need to have a couple people you go to, family. You know, make sure you're still talking to your family. Like, the things that you did before a relationship, you should continue doing after a relationship, or the things that bring you joy, I should say. You know, things that make you happy. Don't stop doing those things because you're in a relationship. Don't like make your relationship your everything, because there's more to life than a relationship, and that is something that I had to learn also, because never being in a relationship, like, you don't learn that. Like, there's some things I feel like you really do have to experience to learn, you know? Like, people can tell you stuff, but there's some shit you just got to do in life, and I think a relationship is one of them. Okay, so number 7 is you won't really be able to imagine life without them, and you'll kind of forget what life was like before them, if it's a healthy relationship. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. I think it's like a beautiful thing, honestly, that like you can meet a person that adds so much to your life, or like for you to be that person that adds so much to somebody else's life. Okay, number 8, this is what they say about family, but it goes for relationships too. You will not always like each other, but you should always love each other, okay? You might not like your partner. They might be pissing you off, but that should not be the end of the world. That should not be the end all be all. You cannot like them. Y'all take y'all little space, and by the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get back together. I love you, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We have bad days, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we catch attitude. Sometimes we blah, blah, whatever. Like, that is realistic. That is real life. Your partner is going to piss you off. Get used to it. And you're going to piss them off too, so it's even. Okay, number 9, this kind of goes into the last one, but you're gonna have disagreements. It's natural. That does not mean that it's the end of your relationship. And that is also something I had to learn, because I feel like every time I got upset at my boyfriend in the beginning, or like something happened, like I literally thought, oh my gosh, like we're gonna break up, it's over, I'm so sad. No. Absolutely not, no. Literally, I would get all in my head before I talk to him and be so upset and think, oh, this is the end, I can't do this. And then I talk to him and I'm like, oh, I was being dramatic. Okay, and then the last one would be to cherish every phase, because it can move kind of fast. It can. Like I said, I've been in my relationship for almost 2 years. Excuse me. I feel like with me and my boyfriend, we've gone through so many phases, bro, because like we have a kid right now, so it was just like, damn, like when I look back at videos and stuff like that, you'd be like, wow. And me personally, I do feel like I cherished it and I valued it. Shit, life moves fast, you know, like even not even just like your relationship, but like things happen, you know, you become a different person, they become a different person, and you just kind of gotta like grow to learn each other and continue to love each other through all of that. So it's like really appreciate the stage that you're in, because you might never, not even might, you probably won't ever get that again, because like life changes, things happen. So it's like, this is the phase you're in right now, and you'll move on. It might be a good phase, you might like grow and it get better, or you might regress a little bit and it might not be a good stage. Just try to enjoy it, and that's all I got. I hope this was helpful. Honestly, if this was shitty, I'm so sorry. This was my second time recording this video, because the first time I recorded it, the lighting was weird and it made me look yellow. I refuse to half-ass anything when it comes to y'all. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I love you so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and join the community. Follow me on my socials. They're all KaiyaLe'Ché if you want to. If you think I got the social, look it up. I might have it. And that's all I got. Bye.